Okay, all right. Welcome everyone to our weekly office hours call here. Before opening it up to questions, I did want to note a few issues that have been reported that we're working on, an update that went out last night, um, just so that everyone is aware. So we had an update go out last night. We heard from a few different navigators that they were only seeing in their list of customers who had a status of inquiry. Um, they weren't seeing anyone who was an applicant or further anyone who had a status other than inquiry. And they were in the system. I could see them as a super admin. I could see their records. They were there, but they couldn't for some reason. But our programmer pushed out an update last night, and checking this morning, it looks like that update has corrected that. So if you're a navigator and you previously reported you were only seeing customers, um, with an inquiry, if you haven't checked yet, I would say to go back and check now, or when we're done here, and you should be able to see all the customers you were seeing before. And if not, of course, if there's something that seems off, definitely reach out, submit a help request ticket, or send an email. But that was the update that went out last night. There are a couple issues. Um, that we were looking into this morning that our programmer is currently working on that we hope to get another update out tonight to correct both of these issues. One of them is, I can open up a window here. One of the issues that I got a help request ticket from and was looking into it further was when you're searching for a customer in the system by name, then this data table error message pops up. Um, it looks like this is only happening when you enter text in this name field. The other filters seem to be working appropriately. Um, and you can still access these customer records. It's just you might have to, open up kind of scroll through and click through the results table that appears here. But this is happening for Climate Works and Workforce Hubs grantees. It didn't seem like it was happening for navigators for some reason, but um, that was one issue that's been reported that our programmer is looking into and getting an update out tonight for. And another issue, I was hoping the update last night would kind of correct this other one. I don't really have a good way to show it without showing production data, which we don't want to do. But it seems like navigators were also experiencing an issue where they have the pre-screening window open. Um, they're not able to select which program um, and proceed forward into the application with that customer. I had, and there was one example I was looking at. I could see that the data was filled in as a super admin, but as a navigator, for some reason, not all of the questions and fields were that were previously filled and saved by the navigator were showing. Those selections are there. I can see them. It's just for some reason they're not pulling through when the navigator's has that pre-screening window open. But that's also an update that we are going to put in tonight. So by tomorrow morning we should have that resolved. Both of those issues. Let's see. I wanted to see if there was anything else I wanted to note issue-wise. Let me just take a quick look here. Um, and I did hear from another grantee today. We'll work. I don't think it'll make it in the update tonight, but it looked like on the intake page, and maybe I can pull this open and test here. On the intake page of a customer, it seems like there's a checkbox that's hidden for, I guess I can pick anybody really. the checkbox to indicate that a customer has declined to participate, that seems to have been hidden. So we're going to work on getting that restored as well. And that appears just above, or it should appear um, in this number 4 section, just above this transfer customer checkbox here. So we'll work on getting that restored as well. And oh, I know there's some that we talked a little bit last week too. They're in our current round of updates, which we'll have go out Thursday next Thursday. But then at the moment, I don't have an update on um, the that not authorized message that was showing up when trying to save or trying to sign, the application for a customer, sending them that link and it would, redirect you to a not authorized page. But we should have that updated by Thursday evening, the 3rd. Those are the updates I have. Yes. Okay. So with that, I'll go ahead and open it up to any questions people might have.
Hi, David. This is Desiree Wright. Can you hear me?
Yep, I sure can.
Okay, real quick. I'm sorry. I may have missed what you had said a little bit earlier, so I apologize if I'm asking something you already addressed. I know you were talking about the issues that we were having with navigators not being able to see things. Are there still some glitches going on in the system? Because I'm getting ready to put a ticket in. There's a particular customer I'm not able to see, and they're populating in like the drop down, but I'm not able to see them for some odd reason. Do you know if there's still some stuff going on?
I'd say go ahead and submit the help request ticket.
Okay.
It may just be that they're with a different provider or, yeah, one of the issues that we're working on getting an update out tonight is if you try and search for um, a customer, by name, that we get this error message here. Um,
Yeah, so my partner, who's with Climate Works but also has navigation rights, he's getting that error like you're showing on the screen right now. But I'm not
yeah.
getting that error, but he is.
Yeah, that's one of the weird things with this issue is if you have access to ClimateWorks or Workforce Hubs, you get this error message, but if you just have Navigator access, you don't. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, it's kind of a weird issue going on, but our programmer is working on a fix that'll go out tonight to address that. But
Okay.
yeah, with that customer though, I'd say go ahead and submit a help request ticket and I can take a
Okay.
closer look at what might be going on.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh. Do you see a question? Is there a test account that new staff can use to get more familiar with WorkNet? There is. Let's see, Emily. I'd have to check, but yeah, we have a few based on the role. Um, there's a few different testing instructions we have that provides like the URL to log in, um, and kind of play around in the test environment to get a little more familiar with it that we can provide. Um,
Perfect. Yeah, I know I utilized one in the past, but I couldn't remember where I found it. So yeah, if you could resend that over, that would be awesome. We have some new staff starting. So
yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I'll send a message to, because I think what I'll need to do is create a folder, I don't know, Google Doc or SharePoint, something accessible for everyone on the call here. Um, and include a link to the different testing instructional documents based on the roles. That way, if you're Climate Works or Workforce Hubs or both or Navigator or kind of any combination of those, you can take a look, based on the role and see, those testing instructions. So yeah, after our call here, I'll start putting that together, and then once I have it set up, I'll send a email out to everyone who has access to CEJA.
Awesome. Thank you. That would be perfect.
Yeah. I see, Teresa, you have your hand raised.
Yes, I'm Teresa Richards with the Trip School, Vermillion County. I have a question. This goes back to our outreach sign-in sheets. Are we adding customers that only check yes interested, or does every name on the outreach sheet go into add customer? Because then I see where it will say do not contact, or customer request to not be contacted, or inquiry.
I think I don't know. I know we don't have our regional administrators on the call to confirm. I believe, yeah, I
We should
believe,
check with them first. Just,
yeah.
because there's a couple different ways you can do it, and I would hate to send you in the wrong direction.
Okay. Where would I direct the question to? So, like Tuesdays?
Or we can ask
TA?
them. We can send
Okay.
them a message, and then maybe David can send it out with that email, with a link to the instructions. Hopefully they can get back to us in a
Just
timely
see the
manner.
link to the instructions as far as adding customers. It's just not, I mean, I do have that document saved. It's just unclear if every outreach name from that Excel sheet goes into add customer, because the reason why I'm questioning it is because, with the pre-screen, you add a customer, the first question is customer request to not be contacted, or, continue to pre-screen. That makes me wonder if all outreach names go in. I don't know if that's something we're trying to capture or not as far as metrics.
Right. Yeah, we'll double check, and then we can send a notice out to everyone just to make sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Another question in the chat: when referring participants to outside organizations, how do we satisfy the referral from the needs attention option if the agency has already made contact to the participant referred to them? So let me find someone in test here. How about here? Because there's a couple different ways we can do it. Do we have any referrals? No. Okay. So, for example, let's update a couple things here. So let me go into service needs assessment. Okay. Looks like we'll fill this out, and then walk through some examples here. So, okay, let's say we'll need transportation, and we'll need a referral for that. And then let's do another one for housing. And let's see, food as well. Because the email, when you submit the referral, the email gets sent to, that outside, that other organization. But, they may not always respond to the email. So, and that kind of gets you hung up in the system a little bit. So let me refresh this here. Okay, so we, based on the service needs assessment, we have 3 referrals that we need to address. So let's go to our referral tab. And transportation assistance. Okay, so we'll start with the transportation assistance. So let's say this one and our contact. Okay, so then we'll say we need transportation assistance. I think it was just kind of general. Yeah, okay. So we'll go ahead and submit the referral. All right, and so then we'll see who's the contact here. Jane Doe. The email is sent to them and they can respond to it and accept it. And if they do, or they respond, then this would show I don't know if it would say good or complete, but then this would, when this is refreshed, it would show good or complete. But if they didn't respond to the email or went into their junk folder, let's say, and they are helping the customer, but it's just not reflecting in the system because they didn't respond to that link in the email. What you can do is on the referral tab, come back here and click view, and then well, you do want to, you can request provider update again, but if they're not responsive that way, what you can do is select this button to close referral, and you can say the organization for this auto drive. Say auto drive has initiated services for this customer. So you can enter a reason for closing it, and then press close, and that will update the referral. This one here, and we'll see that it's closed. And if we come back here, it should probably say something. I'm not sure why you don't have text there. Let me make a note of that. But at least as far as the system's concerned, then this part is at least this item under the referrals would be considered resolved. It's still yellow for attention, but we just need to address those. So as an example here, if we did another referral, and which one is it? Next one we have is housing assistance. We'll select housing. We'll submit the referral. Or if they're doing an update. Oh, okay. So again, maybe in the same case here, I'll just mark this as closed. Mark that as closed. And then if we refresh this, and we see the needs attention has disappeared here as well. And maybe let's say like, well, maybe this customer didn't need this after all for food assistance. We can go back to their intake page and open the service needs assessment and then update it this way. So if we click submit here, go back over here, then this should change away from yellow. Let's see, needs attention still. Okay, well, let me try to do this here. Let's see. I think the system will still want to see at least a referral. So if we add one more referral here for food assistance, let's see. Forget which one this is under here. Oh, nutrition. Health nutrition, I believe. Okay, so then if we submit this and then refresh the page, and we'll do this one more time here to show that the referral is closed. So this name has been addressed. So we close this, and then we go back over here one more time to our progress page and refresh. And then we can see, we don't have any, needs action, and this is now, no longer no action, or sorry, no longer, needs attention, but is no action. So that's how you can kind of satisfy the referral needs attention if, the agency you reach out to hasn't, responded to the email and link that gets sent to them when you initiate a referral. Let's see, I see another message in the chat here. I submitted a ticket because I tried to add a student and it says student is in the system, but when I search, I cannot find the student. In that case, it looks like they may, I'll take a look at that that help request ticket, Yolanda. Because yeah, they may already be in the system, or just have to take a closer look at that. And then the other submittal was I entered a student and he appeared twice and it would not allow me to enter the SSN. Okay, in that case, I believe that would probably be a matter of removing one of the records. That way you could proceed with the other one that got added in there. Yeah. And I know if you get to the point in the application, I can open this up now. Where there isn't prompt that, I guess it wouldn't be for this one, but if you enter the social security number, but then there's a message that says, I forget the exact wording, but it says, you can't proceed because there's this SSN is already in use by another customer. That could be a case of, just, in this case, this customer's name is, Jay. Jay might have a account, another WorkNet account that is tied to that social security number. And so kind of the reason that we have, the prompt here is so that, we don't have multiple accounts in the system with the same social security number. And we're working on a process to kind of, for us to be able to kind of merge accounts in those situations. But I know, in the very least, if that, you're getting stuck here at this point, you can say, yes, but I don't have my card, or no for now. And then we can, once we do, merge accounts, then we can have, then the social security number can be filled back in. Let's see, there's another question or note in the chat. Case managers and clients are having a hard time getting through Employability 101. These issues occur while attempting to complete the modules after the pre-assessment. For example, a case manager and the client will complete each item during a module. However, upon completion, the status will still show as incomplete. This causes the employability section on the progress page to show as needing attention. That's something I can take a look at. I know the regional administrators, um, we met with them, I believe last week, and we were walking through employment 101, and that may not be a requirement of the program. I'm not 100% sure yet. They're going to have some internal conversations um, about that, but yeah, we'll have more on that in the future. Caught up in the chat. Are there any other questions? Anyone else? Oh, I see Martha, you've raised your hand.
Thank you. I was just going to unmute myself. This may be like off the subject, but is there any way or is there any information about regarding a hub for the Peoria area? Is there any information that you can share?
Let me check a list I have and one other thing. I don't know if I do.
David, I can probably answer that.
Sure.
So we are in the process of putting out a notice of funding opportunity in the spring, and we will have more that will probably close in May. But yes, we are in the process of looking for a navigator in that area.
You mean a hub in this area?
Well,
Yeah, because I was just wondering, we have navigators in this area. We just don't have a hub. And this is the third, this would be the third or fourth NOVA that has gone out for this area. So I'm just wondering.
The hubs are already set, and we do not foresee any additional hubs being designated at this time.
Really? Okay. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Well, if not, we have a couple updates going out tonight that should resolve the issue of searching for customers by name and navigators not quite seeing, all the information that's saved there in pre-screening. So we'll have that going out tonight, and we'll also work on getting you those everybody, links to those testing documents. Along with an update on whether or not all the outreach names in the spreadsheet need to be entered into the system. But if anything else comes up in the meantime, you know how to reach us. You can submit a help request ticket or send us an email. But if there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and end early and get this recording posted to the partner guide.
Just ask them after everyone hangs up.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Is there a possibility that I can stay on with you after everyone else hang up so I can get some clarifying information?
Sure.
Okay, I'll just hang on. This is Martha, and it will be Martha and Lynn from Peoria.
Okay. Excellent.